Hey yo, Wagwan. Everybody bless. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, y'all. Welcome to my channel, Game Time Level Up. These are JGODS meta weapons. Let's check it out.
Here is the build for the SO14. Like I said, not necessarily the biggest fan of spamming weapons, but pretty good. Like if you can get the decent trigger finger, the problem is you got to land a certain number of shots, which can be a little bit trickier on the follow-up shots. It's also interesting that they updated here where you get a little bit of blood mist on those. So pretty straightforward on that weapon. I think, like I said, it'll be a little more challenging, and people like the fast TTK. But TAC-V kind of also fits in that niche of fast TTK. A little bit harder to use, but better TTK. So you kind of get rewarded for hitting your shots, which is something I'm always a fan of with TTKs, and having faster TTKs for harder to use weapons. So there's a trade-off. There's like that sacrifice where you might lose a little bit of inconsistency or lose a little bit of consistency to get a faster TTK. So it could hurt you and help you in different scenarios, depending on the range, if they're on a head glitch, if they're like variables come into play, and then obviously the person's skill. So then we have it here, pretty straightforward build, nothing crazy. If the recoil is still a little bit much for you, you can go ahead and get rid of the high velocity and switch to like a rear grip. Since it doesn't really have a barrel that's going to help quite as much with recoil control. It has hipfire recoil control, which doesn't really help. And then bullet velocity here, but without the recoil control. So I would go probably with the rear grip. Probably something like this, which is the combat grip, which is the control.
Heard the TAC-V is sick too, but I don't use this gun either.
Which is going to help you there, but it might slow you down too much. But this is the other one I would go with if you're looking for a little bit more control with this. And we'll go ahead and check this out now, and then I'll go ahead and kind of show you how that works. So a little bit of initial recoil can be a little bit tricky on the target, which I think that's where I think most people will struggle. A little bit at range, at medium range, this thing will be very good because of the TTK, very similar to the SO. But once you get about 75 meters, it could get a little bit tricky. So you could always drop that and then go ahead and, like I said, put on something like this. And then we got this here. And you can see it is going to be a little bit straighter. But like I said, the recoil is going to become less of an issue, and the bullet velocity might struggle where you feel like you're getting ghost bullets, like the bullet's not hitting where you're aiming. And that's kind of where this weapon will suffer without that added bullet velocity, since we are not running a suppressor, which would normally solve for that bullet velocity. And we're not running a barrel, and we're not running, so you're losing out on all that part of it. So it'd be great mid-range. And then we also have the long range 5.56, which is the same one I covered in my previous video, pretty much.
Laser beams.
See how it lays out there. This one by far will be the laser accurate, like a kilo, pretty decent fast fire rate. You shouldn't be able to miss shots with aim assist, particularly. You shouldn't be able to miss, but also on keyboard and mouse, you should be able to pretty much aim at where the target is. So this one's going to be like good all around for various skill levels, low, intermediate, advanced players for the absolute most consistency. But like we already saw, it doesn't kill quite as fast as the other ones. So in the rare occasions where somebody is just hitting their shots, they will kill you faster.
For those who don't know, TTK means time to kill. Time to kill.
And there's nothing you can do with this gun. So that's the trade-off. But you're always going to be able to get the same TTK because you're not going to miss. And then, like I said, we have the ISO, which has the fastest TTK.
The fastest TTK.
In that setup.
ISO,
so
45.
pretty much this is kind of how that one's built out. Straightforward. This one's built more for aim.
This is my side thing too.
A little bit of lack of recoil control because of the way we're building it out, but it still has relatively good recoil control. I am not a fan of the iron sights, so I would probably drop one of these, particularly probably the rear grip, because I like the ability to have aim walking speed, which is strafe speed, something this game desperately needs. If they do that, that's one of the last changes like I really want. Obviously, some people want slide canceling or other types of movement or whatever. Strafing would be, oh my God, it's just so boring sometimes how you have to challenge a gunfight. You're kind of limited. You can't even strafe. And then you could put on optic, whatever you would normally run for your optic, which normally I tend to go with the Cronin Pro, and then that gives me like a blue dot. But obviously on an SMG,
I might try the blue dot.
It's a little taboo to use an optic, so there you go. That is an option for you if you.
All right, thank you, JGOD. Like and subscribe to my channel, y'all. Game Time Level Up. Have a good day. Peace.